cleaning. Honestly, I don't know how to make this video interesting to you. I could show you my progress and steps, fill in some form of narrative, and present to you the results so far. Or simply show you me scraping for an hour. I don't know about that. Both solutions don't seem too interesting to me. Funnily enough, Matt from Badger Workshop seems to be somewhat synchronized with my personal New Year resolutions. I too began to tidy up my office. At least, this shelf is sorted out so far. And that let me think. Of course, it made me happy. But, but why? Why is that so? This type of process, you see, is to me a form of therapy. You know, there's music therapy where you can channel your emotions and express them via sounds. The same way you have art therapy, a similar mechanic with different tools to use. And don't forget about other forms of creative therapy like dancing or roleplay, theater-like sessions. There are many ways to channel your emotions, to express yourself and help your mind. And even when you're not having therapy, and even if you're not needing, and even if you're not in, and even if you're not needing therapy, there's a reason why subconsciously many of us like to play with Lego as an adult, or puzzle, do arts and crafts like knitting, crocheting, having fun in our workshops, even if it's just a small kitchen table. Mundane tasks help to switch off a little, a bit like meditation. Your mind is allowed to wander off. You can rethink past conflicts, dream about your goals or next steps to take in your life, or simply pause. If you want to help me out with some coffee, there's a link down below. Have no thoughts at all, and thus regain energy for upcoming phases when you need to focus and concentrate. It's no wonder that many articles and studies show that tradesmen or craftsmen are in general happier in life. Of course, you need to have a decent income. Money makes happy too, but that seems to plateau much quicker than you might think. After having all needs settled, there is not much gain just by earning more money. I think we all can agree that the worst task is a BS task in life. I think we all can agree that the worst task is a BS task in life. A task that we simply do because we are told to do, despite knowing that it is stupid or unnecessary, simply a waste of time. I hate those tasks and always feel exhausted and empty inside afterwards. Then there are tasks that are important but lack immediate results, such as accounting, coding, writing, things we all have to do sometimes, especially those of us sitting day in and day out in offices. And at this point, I can only talk about myself as I know that there are people out there being eager to do their taxes or love accounting in general. People that love their jobs simply sitting there and doing as they do. I, for myself, dread those long hours filling in an Excel sheet or debugging code, making minute changes and retesting. Those tasks stay important, but are often time consuming and lack immediate results. Whereas doing woodworking, for example, every tool you take and every chip you make, every fiber you break, every step you take, you'll be watching yourself. Thus, the response is immediate. The result is seen immediately. You can look at your work after a long day and examine it. Whereas after completing a huge Excel sheet, this Excel sheet is not materialized in front of you. Often it is hard to grasp where all the time and effort went into. Whereas a huge pile of shavings you sweep up is directly connected with the task or work you did beforehand. And that point makes handiwork so much more satisfactory than digital tasks that demand higher levels of abstraction to grasp what has been done. It is not right under your nose. It is quite the opposite. Another aspect of tidying up your surroundings is the effect of establishing a form of structure. Of course, you have methods like the first order of retrievability that Adam Savage promotes quite heavily. You find things more easily or benefit by reducing needed time for your work this way. Reduced stress by reducing hustle. But that's not what I mean. I personally find that outer peace due to a tidy environment leads to inner peace somehow. Knowing that everything is has a calming effect. Tidy workplaces I tend to admire after finishing a project or getting ready for the weekend. It's the small things, the small things that matter more than you think. Wow, now look at this, man. I really do hate that glue, but they really did pins through the bracing inside the back, and it's still cracked open. How desperate can one be? Wow, I'm simply flabbergasted. Every tool you take and every chip you make, every fiber you break, every step you take, you'll be watching yourself. It's the small things, the small things that matter more than you think. I think that it is why it makes me happy having this shelf restructured as it gives me an inner structure itself, so I can keep my mind itself also in orderly fashion. And having this instrument now in orderly fashion too, I can see joyful into a happy future with all the mishaps from the past simply gone. I can now start over, give it the new life with a bit of more order. And now I just need to reorganize my small parts bins. That one get labeled too pretty in comparison. Just 200 more to go. Yay! Ah, yeah, some things got damaged while doing all that. But it needs to be re-glued anyway, so I have to figure it out. So or so. And that wraps it up for today.